In today's video, we're actually going to do some tapping together. I want to talk about this anxiety that so many people feel about their sleep or about their lack of sleep. And how can we help ourselves through this anxiety that we feel? And we can do that with one of the tools that I teach in the Better Sleep community, which is with tapping. So we're going to tap specifically for the anxiety that shows up at bedtime today. Before we start tapping, though, I do want to introduce myself. If you don't know me, my name is Carol Richard. I'm the founder of the Sleep Success Academy, and my online program is called the Better Sleep Community. It's where over 12 weeks you receive video content and worksheets, but we also get to meet twice a week where I guide you through creating better sleep for yourself. So, in the description below, you will see the link where you can join us if you're ready to get your sleep under control. And we start again next week. So, my intention with this video today is to show you some of the tools that you will learn. It's a 10-minute video, so I can only teach you a little tiny bit, but I would like to give you an experience of what you can do with your anxiety. And we're going to do that using tapping. How would we actually use tapping to reduce anxiety? I love to teach this one technique in particular. There's more than one, but the one that I like the most is called holding the truth on what is happening in the current moment. And when we're using tapping, if you don't know what it is, there's also a video that I have that I will link in the description below so that you can go watch that and it will teach you what tapping is. But quickly, just to say that tapping is when we tap on the end point of our meridians. There are different points, and as we go through, you can just look at the video and follow me along. And by tapping on these endpoints of the meridian, we're moving energy somehow in our body, and it is allowing our nervous system to calm down, to reduce that anxiety feeling that we have. And when we can reduce that anxiety and feel more calm, there's a greater chance that we'll be able to fall asleep. Now, do I believe that one round of tapping will cure your sleep anxiety forever? No, that's why I want to teach you the tool so that you can implement it in your life every day. Now, will you have to use it for the rest of your life? Again, no. You'll have to use it when you feel the anxiety. Myself, I can't remember the last time I used tapping for better sleep. I used tapping on other things during my day, but not for my sleep because I have my sleep so programmed in the cells of my body that I don't need to do this work anymore. This is why I'm teaching it to you because it works. I know it works. I've had the experience. So, the first thing we're going to do as we start tapping is I want you to think about your anxiety about sleep. How does it show up for you? Are you feeling the anxiety in your chest, like it's hard to breathe? Does the anxiety come with a thought like, oh my God, I'll never sleep again? Does the anxiety show up as a sensation like the pit of the stomach, kind of like the knot that's in there? Other people will just feel edgy, like on fire. So anxiety can show up many different ways depending on how it's showing up for you in your body. Now that we've kind of put some ideas in there, can you write down exactly how anxiety is showing up for you in this moment? And I'm just going to use, for demonstration purposes, it's showing up as a knot in the pit in my stomach, and it's showing up as I think about going to bed tonight. Like, even though it's during the day, I can do this today to calm the anxiety that I know will show up in the evening because it's been showing up probably for the last 10 nights in a row, let's say. So I can work on this during the day right now. I can also do it at bedtime, but I can work on it right now. So when I remember trying to sleep last night, this anxiety, what level is it from 0 to a 10? We know that we can bring it back when we focus on it. So if I'm focusing on trying to sleep last night, feeling into my body, example, I'm going to use a knot in the pit of my stomach, my anxiety maybe at an 8. So that's the information that we want before we start tapping. And the reason we want that information is so that we can tell if there's been a shift in our anxiety or not. So if you want to start with me, we always start tapping on the side of the hand. Just not controlling our breath, but just noticing our breath. You see there, I just took a breath like, oh, we're going to do some tapping. And just gently tap on the side of the hand. It doesn't matter how many times you tap. What I want to say before we start is our anxiety will either go down really quickly, it'll either stay the same, or it might go up. If it goes up, that's okay, because it just means that now we're focusing on it and we're really noticing it. Keep tapping. Keep tapping with me. And if you have to go back to the beginning when we're done, you can actually reduce the anxiety as we keep tapping. So repeat after me. So even though I'm feeling this anxiety in the pit of my stomach when I think about going to bed and trying to sleep tonight, right here, right now, I'm okay. And even though I'm feeling this anxiety in the pit of my stomach as I'm thinking about trying to sleep tonight, I acknowledge this anxiety and it's trying to tell me something. And even though I can feel this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, fearing I won't be able to sleep tonight, I acknowledge this fear and this anxiety. Okay, so now we're going to do the points, and we're just going to keep it simple because when we want to start tapping, we want to keep things simple. So we're going to say this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, just thinking about going to bed tonight and how hard it's going to be for me to sleep. This anxiety in the pit of my stomach, this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, just thinking about going to bed and trying to sleep tonight. All right, so that's what we would call one round of tapping. So I used all the points and I did 3 times on the side of the hand. That is just the algorithm of tapping. So I'm gonna take a breath. I have something to drink. So you take a drink. I've got tea. You can have water, something. I try not to tap with coffee, but I still tap with coffee, but just water. We're made of water, so it helps to kind of process when we're drinking water. So I'm going to have tea, peppermint tea today. Mm. And then once I took that little break, I'm going to want to think again. So I start again tapping on the side of the hand. That's just how I do it. There's no right or wrong in tapping. There's many different ways that people teach you how to tap. What I say is, how is it working for you? So back to the side of my hand, I'm thinking about going to bed tonight. I'm thinking of the anxiety in the pit of my stomach. Is it still there? What am I noticing about this anxiety? It's still there. So I'm just going to say, even though this anxiety is still in the pit of my stomach, just thinking about going to bed tonight because I'm afraid I won't be able to fall asleep. That's the thought that just came into my head. So I'm going to say what comes in. So I'm holding the truth on what I'm really feeling. Even though I still have this anxiety in the pit of my stomach because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to fall asleep tonight. And then tomorrow's going to be another crappy day. Right here, right now, I'm okay. And even though I still feel this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, I acknowledge that it's there. Now we're going to switch a little bit. So I'm going to switch techniques here on you. We're going to go to rant tapping. So rant tapping, I'm going to put the link in the video as well. It's basically just ranting. Like, I've had so many bad night sleeps. Whatever comes to mind, whatever makes me think that tapping on the side of my face is going to help me sleep. Nothing I've done has worked. Feeling all this anxiety in the pit of my stomach. I just can't imagine one more bad night. I'm willing to try anything, even if it looks funny when I'm tapping on my body. I'm willing to try anything. Yeah, so put your words in there as we're tapping. So what are you feeling? Frustrated, angry, annoyed? Gonna keep tapping. Right. keep just ranting on what you're feeling and what we're wanting to happen organically. We don't want to push this, but we want it to happen organically. And a lot of times it happens quickly, and other times, if there's more kind of guck in there, we got to tap a little bit more. We're wanting what I call a spark. So you'll learn that in the Better Sleep community as well. So what's this spark? It's just that little tiny moment where you go, well, okay, wait a minute. I've had good sleeps in the past, or oh, my anxiety is lower right now, so I'm not feeling that knot in the pit of my stomach. Or, yeah, well, I've made it through worse days, worse nights of sleep, and I'm still alive today. Something. So, what is that spark for you that is happening as we're tapping, naming all the bad stuff because we want to get that out of the way so that we provide room in our nervous system for the good stuff to come up. And so I'm going to, for demonstration purposes, say that the knot in my stomach just went away. All right. So back to the side of the hand, and I want to speak the truth on that now. So even though I had a knot in my stomach and now it's gone, what does that mean for me? And even though I had a knot in my stomach and now it's gone, what is it replaced with? That's a good question that I always like, but what's there instead? Oh, and there's a little burp, and that's quite normal when you're tapping, either burps or yawning, getting really tired. That's just energy moving and releasing. What is replacing the knot in my stomach if it's no longer there? Can you get clarity on that? And right here, right now, I'm okay. And even though I had a knot in my stomach, and now it's replaced with Zen or peace or calm. I acknowledge that Zen in my stomach, right? The Zen in my stomach. Yeah, this calm feeling in my stomach, this Zen in my stomach. If you notice, I'm just naming the good stuff now, the peace in my stomach. Yeah, my anxiety actually went down a little bit. Zen in my stomach, Zen in my stomach, Mm. Zen in my stomach. So take a break again and have a drink of water. Maybe take a look. I've got a window in front of me, so just take a look outside the window or look around your room. And we're wanting to take this little break in tapping so that our nervous system can really like settle into this change that happened. So now I like to go back and test when I think about going to bed tonight from 0 to a 10. How high is the anxiety when I think about going to bed? And so for most of you, we'll have diminished. For some of you, will stay the same because we haven't hit on what is actually causing the anxiety yet. For a few of you, it might have gone up. All three are okay because they're providing us with information on what to do next. And I teach that in the Better Sleep community because it's not right or wrong. It's just giving us information, same as our emotions. They're not right or wrong. They're giving us information on what we need to work on in order to create this good sleep for ourselves. So I'm just going to do one last round with you just to kind of close off this round. So I would say something like, even though I still carry some anxiety towards my sleep or about my sleep, I acknowledge that it's there. And I just learned a new tool to help me deal with it. And even though, oh, I still have some anxiety towards my lack of sleep, just learned a new tool. Yeah. And even though I still have some anxiety towards my lack of sleep, I just learned a new tool to help me manage it. Right here, right now, I'm doing the best that I can. And I just learned a new tool. I'm going to have to practice it. I'm going to have to learn how to use it for myself. I'm going to have to use it every day. but it is possible for me to get this anxiety under control. Ah, how does that feel? And it's okay if you don't believe that it's possible yet. I know it's possible, and I'll believe it for you. Okay? So that, in essence, is tapping. And when I first started tapping, I thought that it was so weird looking. I would actually hide to tap, and now I'm tapping on YouTube. Imagine that, right? So this is how much it's changed my life, that I went from hiding in the woods to use tapping so that I could get my sleep under control, to actually showing you what it looks like, even on top of my head, even on under my arm. I used to say it looks like a monkey. Like, if somebody saw me do that, they would say she's really gone bonkers with that lack of sleep, and she would try anything, and it worked. So again, I'm going to put my invitation out there. We start the Better Sleep community next week. This is one of the tools that you'll learn. You can ask questions about it. We have great conversations about what is tapping, what it is not, how to use it, lots of videos to teach you all that. And then the bonus being the group calls, where you get to be with like-minded people, and we work on your sleep for you. And the results have been amazing for the people that are in the Better Sleep community. So click the link below. If you still are on the fence and you would love to talk to me, send me an email at support@sleepsuccessacademy.com. And I can't wait to support you through your journey to better sleep.